Autodesk Build leverages best-in-breed mobile and drawing experience from plangrid, mixed with powerful data insights and project management workflows. This delivers a broad, deep, and connected set of field execution and project management tools in a single software platform that's easy to deploy, adopt, and use. Build provides an environment where information sharing and workflows are both tightly controlled and highly configurable. With these mobile capabilities, teams can streamline communication and documentation, capturing what happens on a project and solve any necessary issues by leveraging both field and office staff at the same time from any device. plangrid and Autodesk Build both live within the same mobile application called plangrid Build. The video following the survey is designed for plangrid users considering the upgrade to Autodesk Build. When I first open the app, you're going to be taken to the project screen. And these are all the projects that are associated with your account for both your plangrid projects as well as your Autodesk Build projects. Very similar to plangrid on the build side of things, you can absolutely download projects from your account onto this device so that the information is locally cached and stored. It's going to be really helpful when you're going to a job site that maybe has limited connectivity. You're going to be able to continue working, flag your punch list items, make your markups, and then when you're back within Wi-Fi range, your data is going to be automatically pushed to the cloud for the rest of your team to access. So projects on this device, as well as projects in the cloud, just like plangrid. Jumping into a project here, we're going to notice an update. The first thing we're going to see is the home screen. This is very similar feel and experience to plangrid's website, now within the plangrid Build app for all Autodesk Build projects, designed to give you a 30,000-foot view of your projects and your assignments. So things like assigned work, if you have issues that are in your court, you can see if they're ongoing or overdue, as well as the rest of the project for other issues. If you have to fill out a daily report or a timesheet every day, you're going to see those assigned forms in the bottom left of the home screen. On the right-hand side, you'll see things like sheets that are favorited, things that are searched for recently, as well as files that you've viewed recently as well. Really designed to give the ability for field teams to access information that they access often very quickly. In Autodesk Build's Sheets module, just like plangrid, when you import a project into Autodesk Build, we're going to take care of three things for you. Optical character recognition built into the platform is going to scan the title blocks for us, and it's going to look at the sheet title and the sheet number, and it's going to automatically name and number those sheets. It's going to save a lot of time on the administrative side. These drawings are going to be searchable by name, number, and text. Helpful for locating rooms, keynotes, or maybe general annotations throughout the document set. So if I'm looking for a specific room number, I can type that in, and it's going to highlight that for me very quickly right on the drawing, and I can jump right to it. Just like plangrid, these drawings are going to automatically be tagged for us based on the AIA sheet disciplines for very easy filtering. So if I'm an owner, an architect, or a contractor, and I'm working with a very large document set, it's very easy to filter down to a specific scope of work and even layer on multiple tags to get to a very specific subset of documents within my document set. Just like plangrid, if I'm uploading documents that have sections and elevations, this information is going to be highlighted for me, and they're automatically going to be hyperlinked to each other. And it's going to be very easy to flip between plans and elevations, and then use the clock icon to jump back to whatever I was looking at previously, saving time on getting to the information that I need. Also, on upload, we're going to take care of the versions of the drawings for you. So if you have a bulletin, an RFI, an ASI, or if you're involved in the design process and you're tracking 75% CD to 100 or something like that, we're going to take care of those multiple versions of these drawings for you, and we're going to slip sheet the drawings for you. The key to remember with this is anyone out in the field doesn't really need to think about this, whether there's 1, 2, 10 versions of every drawing. By default, anytime you jump into any drawing, you're going to be taken to the latest and greatest version of that drawing, while still being able to access old information. Anyone that's looking at old info, just like in plangrid, we're going to keep that really important warning label right at the top to let you know you're looking at an old version of this sheet. but also being able to compare it with the most current document. Even if there wasn't a cloud or something from the design documents, being able to quickly overlay those changes and see the update is going to be really powerful. Just like plangrid, if we want to share this or anything else that we're looking at from a mobile standpoint, we can easily hit the share button and just create a quick snapshot to populate an email to send to anybody that we want. Like plangrid documents, Autodesk Build's files houses additional project information to further mobilize your workflow. Folders and files within Autodesk Build can now be associated with project templates, cutting down on administrative time during project setup. Folders can be created for different teams with different permission levels if you choose to do so. Just like plangrid, the file section is going to support specifications, cut sheets, O&M manuals, really anything you want to equip your field team with other than sheets. One of the major updates to the file section in Autodesk Build is the ability to leverage native 3D models coming from Revit or Navisworks. So with a simple drag and drop of those files into the file section of Autodesk Build, now our field teams can access that information right from the job site. This is really going to help to connect 2D and 3D workflows all in the same common data environment inside of Autodesk Build. Autodesk Build inherits the same easy-to-use workflows for field reports from plangrid, now called forms. So whether you're choosing to use the digital out-of-the-box forms for things like a field report or a job hazard analysis or a timesheet, you can choose to do so. Fill in the work right from the job site, explain who was on site for that day, how many workers there were, how many hours, and even use the dictation tool to fill this in. Ductwork installed in kitchen. Work through your daily report, add things like materials, reference equipment, maybe sign off on it as the foreman, associate any photos you need, and submit that directly back to your office team. So whether using the digital report or uploading company templates that you're already using as a fillable PDF, it's really easy to digitize forms in Autodesk Build, just like it was to digitize field reports in plangrid. In Autodesk Build, for those that use plangrid's task functionality heavily for things like punch lists, maybe constructability reviews, a design review, or just general task management and communication between the field and the office, rest assured that you're going to be able to do that very easily in Autodesk Build as well. Build's Issues module is that flexible tool that's useful during all phases of the building lifecycle. You'll see any issue created, whether in the office or the field, will live in this issue log that's easily searchable and filterable by things like status, assignee, and dates. If I ever want to create that punch list item or something that I'm noticing out on the job site, it's still just as easy as clicking that check mark, just like in plangrid, and pulling up that list of issues. Just like plangrid, where you could have a task stamp as well as a list, you have issue categories and issue types. So very flexible depending on permissions on how you want to set this up for your team. Simply pin the stamp next to the drawing and you're able to pull up the flyout where you can fill in similar information to plangrid, like the description, who you're assigning this to, making this actionable with dates, associating photos, and all of that good information. The mobile app is now equipped with some powerful additions like assets, RFIs, submittals, and meeting minutes. Within assets, easily track project assets and link them to their relevant information. For example, I'm going to pull up a refrigerator. And I'm going to be able to quickly see the name of that fridge, the category, the status, as well as the location. If I have a barcode on that item, I can scan that. So if you're doing prefabrication or anything like that, you can absolutely use the scan barcode function as part of the Autodesk Build mobile experience and associate it with the asset. We can also reference photos, the barcode itself, maybe files that are associated with it, its submittal, any issues that came up with this asset itself, and any sheet that it's linked to. Really connecting all of the project information related to that asset in one place right within Autodesk Build. For RFIs and submittals, you can provide the team with a searchable, filterable, Really easy to access information about RFIs and submittals, really making sure your team is always up to date with the latest information. So you're going to have that RFI log right at your fingertips, search for whatever you need, search by status, and access information that's associated with this RFI on this job. Same thing with submittals. Easily access project submittals, quickly look at the status, whether it's a draft, whether it's approved, rejected, and access that information very easily right from the mobile device. For any foreman, site super, or really anybody that's accessing information on the mobile device, you can also access RFIs, submittals, and other documents via the sheets. Just like in plangrid, I'll see the linked RFI, submittal, or document here. I can click on it, get an overview of that information, or jump to the details and see all of the good information associated with the element, in this case, an RFI. Within Photos, now we have native support for not only photos, but 360-degree photos, videos, as well as the ability to categorize photos by their tags. So if you want to get to a quick subset of the photos on a project, you may have thousands of photos on these jobs. You can quickly just jump to 360-degree photo in this case and access that information very quickly. Really centralizing all of the photos, videos, 360-degree photos in one place, as well as being searchable and categorizable with tags. Finally, for meeting minutes, having access to the meeting minutes from your mobile device is just another way that you can be sure that the latest discussion between team members, whether you're in the field or the office, are easily accessible, further connecting teams from the office and the trailer. Now, having access to all of your project management workflows, as well as the field and office collaboration, just like plangrid, you're able to really have a common data environment for all of your project information right inside of Autodesk Build.